Welcome back to Authentically Love, the podcast where we dive deep into the real, raw, and transformative conversations that help us live life more authentically. I'm your host, Ruth the Truth, and today is the episode I've been complaining about, y'all. It's we talking about the art of actively. I decided I'm just gonna re-record because I got a new setup, got a new mic. Why not? It might be better than last time. But here on Authentically Love, our motto is where honesty meets heart and every truth empowers. So today's episode is the perfect embodiment of that because whether you're with your partner, your friends, your family members, hell, even your coworkers, how you listen, it plays a huge role in how connected and understood people feel. We are social beings. So, in this episode, we're going to unpack what active listening really is, why it matters so much, and I'll share some practical techniques and exercises to help you become a better listener in your daily life. What you waiting on? Let's jump in. Put on your seatbelt, buddy. I, I. So wait. What is active listening? And a lot of us, we think we're good listeners, but sorry, you're not. Um, anywho, active listening, it goes beyond, just hearing someone's words and just letting them talk. It's about fully engaging in the what that person's speaking, like not just focusing on their words, but focusing on their emotions, focusing on their body language and focusing on what they're really trying to communicate. Like that's the whole reason why you talking, and to communicate, comprehend. Comprehension is key, my guy. Oh my god. Why does it matter? It matters because when we're fully present and like we're listening with intention. It shows that person that we value their thoughts and their feelings. And everybody want to feel valued. Everybody want to feel understood. And in this world that we live in, it's so full of distractions because everybody has their phones in their hand, and you're just scrolling. A lot of times when we be on the phones, we be on social media scrolling. I'm guilty. And I know you are too. Don't sit up here and say that you're not. Giving someone your undivided attention is so powerful because it's building trust. It's making deeper connections and preventing misunderstandings. Have you ever had a conversation where you felt like you did not feel heard at all? Or maybe the person you were speaking to kept interrupting or jumping to conclusions, or they wasn't really paying attention at all. I'm guilty of it. I am guilty of all of the above. I was just talking to my homegirl the other day, like, when people be talking, I be going off in la la land, and she be like, I think you got ADHD day one. I'm like, all right, cool, cause I've been thinking that too. I'm self-diagnosed. I use Google, and partial if that is true, but at the same time, if I put my mind to it, I could pay attention. Not for long. You just rambling. Oh Lord, please don't expect me to listen for a whole 30 minutes unless you is good and juicy. But this is what this episode is about. So we don't have to be like that. So that the feeling of not being listened to, it doesn't cause frustration. It doesn't cause resentment. And it doesn't cause distance in a relationship. And remember, we're not just talking about romantic and emotional relationships. We're talking about relationships as a whole. I'm talking about your friend, your family member, your cousin, your auntie, your coworker, hell, maybe even your motherfucking animal. Because they can comprehend you too. Let's be real. Today, we are about to dive a little bit deeper into learning how to avoid making somebody not feel heard without interrupting people, without jumping to conclusions, and without not even paying attention at all. We gotta be better. And that starts with this episode right here. All right, so now that we know why active listening is important and why it matters, we got seven. Yes, seven. I had to dig deep for these. But yes, we got seven practical techniques that you and me, I, we can use to become better listeners. The first one, and it doesn't have to be in no specific order, but one of the most important parts of active listening is being fully present. That means putting away distractions. That means your phone, focusing entirely on what that person is speaking or talking about. And it shows that you care. It shows them that you or that they are worth your time and your attention. Like, so next time you in a conversation, try turning off your notifications and putting your phone on silent. I know we busy and that's semi not realistic because people got lives and people are important. I'm not saying you're not, but try to make eye contact, nod, show you listening, and Try to avoid the urge. What you gonna say next? Another powerful technique is to reflect back what you've heard to make sure you're understanding the person correctly. Paraphrasing what they said helps clarify their message, and it shows that you're really paying attention. Like that junk go a long way. It held weight and it hit a little different. So we got an example, y'all. We got an example. So say you got a friend, right? And they say that they feeling overwhelmed at work. And you could respond with, sounds like you're under a lot of pressure right now. Is there anything in particular that's stressing you out? See, now this response, it opens the door for deeper conversation and it shows empathy. Gotcha. Remember empathy? uh, Instead of jumping to conclusions or giving advice right away, ask open ended questions. That encourages the person to share more. And this helps them feel heard and gives a clearer understanding of what's going on with them. Like, instead of saying, man, oh man, you should just quit your job. Oh man, you should just get rid of her. Oh man, you should just dump them. Try asking, what do you think would help ease some of that stress? Asking open ended questions keeps the conversation going, and it truly shows that you listen to their thoughts and their feelings, because it's also making them think and it's also making them dig a little deeper, because sometimes the questions that you ask may not be the questions that they would have asked. It's a different perspective. We all know we listen and don't judge. So, active listening, that really does mean listening and without judgment. And we human, we know how some stuff's supposed to go and how some stuff not. And we judge. And by judging, it's can be so easy to jump in and provide our own opinion or solutions. But sometimes that person, they just want to be heard, not fixed. Say you got a person, right? And they venting to you about something that's going. Instead of saying, you shouldn't feel that way, try saying, I understand why you feel that way. You hear me? Like, that sounds really tough. That creates a safe space for them to express their feelings without feeling dismissed or criticized. I know for me, when I'm talking about my feelings, I just want to be understood. I just want to be heard. After you venting, hearing that I understand the way you feel, that sounds tough. It's kind of comforting in a way. Like, it's even bringing tears to my eyes just thinking about it. Because I'm a cookie. It really does create like that safe space to express your. This time, I want you to think about the last conversation. Were you truly listening? Or were you waiting to talk your turn? I'ma tell on myself I wasn't truly listening. And day one, I know you gonna watch this, dog. I apologize. I'ma do better. Got to be more careful. God dog it. What's one thing that you can do in your next conversation to be present and engaged? Hmm? Put them in the comments. This is where you put it in the comments. We gon' do a little dance. I just drop it in the comments. Hey. Uh, uh, Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, that was just a little intermission, I know. All right, so check this out. Active listening is not about what you say, and it's not also just about how you say it either. I'm talking about it's the what you don't say. We talking about your body language. Like, your body language can show how you're engaged in a conversation. Like, if you slouched over, like, we all know you not paying attention. If you 9 times out of 10, that is showing you're bored and disinterested. Try mirroring the expressions or the body language of the person that you're talking to. That creates a sense of empathy and connection. And I used this technique once a few weeks back. I was realized I was standing like this with my arms crossed because I don't be knowing what to do with my hands. They just be awkward. I be putting them in my pocket, but then I be like, you gotta show like confidence. And if you have your hands in your pockets, then you're not. That's showing like you're not really confident. So I would take them out, and I just be fidgeting a lot, especially when I be talking to people, and I be looking around. I'm guilty of that. I'm sorry. Correction. I ain't sorry. I apologize. Sometimes in our eagerness to respond, we miss the full point of what's being said. Me and my girlfriend struggle with this real bad. We be interrupting each other a lot, and I get frustrated because I know if two people talking at the same time, somebody is not being heard because we both trying to talk over each other. We both trying to prove a point or get our point across. So I be trying to pause before replying. That way it gives her a chance to get everything that she said out. And she's starting to do the same now. Cause that shit used to irk me. Or I know it's so much easier said than done, but when you start realizing you do things, when you do them naturally, you're able to pick that up and be like, oh, this was done in a certain surrounding. Next time it comes up, I can choose a different route. All right. I know we already talked about open ended questions, but we also got asking clarifying questions like, don't assume, ask. Don't assume when listening. Ask them questions because it does keep the conversation flowing and ensures that you understand the person's full message. But when asking those questions, try to make sure that they stay in like a neutral, open ended rather than um, leading or suggestive. Like, avoid steering the conversation in a specific direction. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to manipulate your answer into being something that you want them to say. Don't be an asshole.
I'm geeked. I am so. Listen. Listen to the sound here in my heart. A melody I've started but can't complete. Oh, the time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be pushed aside or turned into your own, all 'cause you won't listen. Listen, I am alone and alone. I'm not at home in my home. And I've tried and tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. Oh, and now I'm done believing you. You don't know what I'm feeling. You're more than what you made of me. I followed the voice you gave to me. And now I gotta find my own. You should have known.
All right, now let's get into some real life examples and exercises that you can start using today. to practice active listening because we are about to become some phenomenal listeners. You hear me? No pun intended. Scenario number one is we have a friend that needs to vent. So the situation is your friend pissed about something that happened at work and they need to talk it out. Your old approach would be you listening, but you just scrolling. Mm-hmm. Not really engaging, right? And people know that. We know when you're not listening. That's why you be getting hung up on. So the improved approach would be put your phone down. If you're on FaceTime or if you're in real face to face, maintain eye contact and respond with something like, wow, that sounds frustrating. Want to talk about it? Or what happened next? That shows that you really listening and you engaging, encourages them to open up more. So the next time you got a friend, family member, coworker, lover, whoever that comes to you with a problem, practice reflecting back what you've heard and ask an open ended question to keep the conversation going. Like, you got it, dude. You got it. You can do it. Scenario number two. Scenario two. A coworker with a different opinion. So the situation, right? Check it out. Check it out. You in a meeting, right? And your coworker over there talking about a viewpoint that you ain't going for, right? You don't agree with it. Instead of tuning them out and preparing your counter argument, active listening. Like your old approach, it would be most definitely to just interrupt them and dismiss their perspective because you got your own opinion. We're not doing that no more. We're letting them finish speaking, then respond with. I hear that you think this approach would be more efficient. Can you walk me through your reasoning a bit more? This shows that you're open to understanding their viewpoint even though you don't agree with it. So, in your next meeting, if you ever have one, if you have those, resist the urge to interrupt or form a rebuttal while the other person is speaking. Because try to try to focus on truly understanding the perspective before responding. Scenario number three, 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 three. We're doing it like this because it's a child expressing frustration. We gotta be childish just a little bit. So, say the situation is your child is upset because they feel like they not being treated fairly at school. Instead of brushing off their feelings or just giving advice, focus on listening. Like, your old approach would be like, it's not a big deal, you'll be alright. When really your new approach could be, oh, I hear that you're frustrated. Can you tell me more about what happened? This lets your child feel heard and understood. It gives them space to express their emotions fully. Something that we didn't have. I know I didn't. Our parents said that you could, but really, no, you didn't. Because our parents is old school, and old school parents and was taught to instill fear to get respect, or instill fear to get what you need done. That's trauma that's done been passed down from all of our generation. We ain't taught how to talk about our emotions or express what we really feel. Come on now. Next time a child shares their feelings with you, please, for the life of you, hold back any immediate solutions or dismissals. Like, acknowledge their emotions and ask them open ended questions to better understand their experience. Because, yes, you were their age before, but the way they process things is different. Just like when your parents was your age, they did things different. It's a cycle. It's just gonna repeat itself. And then scenario number four. Scenario number four. Scenario number four. 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 A partner who feels ignored. I know I cannot stand feeling ignored, but my problem is I be ignoring other people intentionally. I don't be wanting to be bothered. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking it to it because it's the truth. But anyhow, this situation, I got an example. My my person told me I made them feel invisible, and when she told me that, I was like, really? I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't give her no excuse. I didn't try to make her feel like what she was feeling wasn't real. I just made it a mission to not make her feel ignored or not make her feel invisible. So that means I gotta be more present. And before she was feeling like that because I was on my phone or I was playing the game. I wasn't fully present in our conversations. I wasn't doing what I'm preaching. I do now. When we had that conversation, I did ask, um I did say my response was I didn't realize you felt that way. When when did I make you feel that way? Or how long have you felt that? That those are them type of open-ended questions. And that's when I found out that I would be in the group chat kicking it, or I would be playing the game. I would be scrolling on social media, not listening. Next time your person brings up an issue like that, focus on validating their feelings rather than explaining your actions. Repeat back what you heard they said and to show that you understand and ask for more in details. That was a mouthful. Whew, sweet baby Jesus. What am I gonna do? So, what's the takeaways from today's episode? Did we do our big one on this one? Active listening is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen your relationships and build trust with the people around you. Being fully present, reflecting back what you hear, and asking open ended questions, listening without judgment creates deeper and meaningful connections. But here's the thing, becoming a better listener, it actually takes practice and it takes effort because you have to be intentional about it. You have to be committed to it. Like, don't be afraid to check yourself. When you realize you're not listening or you interrupting somebody, like, just be more intentional, and the more natural it will become. So I encourage you to start today. Starting with this episode because y'all ain't been making it this long. I know I talk a lot and I know my voice is soothing, but I want you to try using one of these techniques in your next conversation and see how it transforms the dynamic. Okay, that's it for today's episode of Authentically Love. I hope you are walking away with some practical tools and you gonna become a better listener. And remember, when we listen with our hearts as much as our ears, we become stronger. We have more authentic connections with the people that we love. Next episode, we'll continue the conversation with an episode that's about healthy boundaries. Something we could all use a little bit more of, right? As always, remember where honesty meets heart and every truth empowers. Keep being unapologetically authentic in everything you do, especially in how you communicate. Until next time, I'm your host, Ruth the motherfucking truth. We out this bitch, y'all. Got it. We got it.